Hey there, happy Saturday there, it's me Victor here. I'm going to do one more quick recap. It's been a while since I posted a video on YouTube. Everything's been going well. Um, Again, if we want a quick recap overall my trading, I'll do it in this video. Maybe I'm not sure how long this one's going to go. This one's going to be much longer than usual. But in a nutshell, I have not traded in about 3-4 months since I last traded a stock. Simply because of life sometimes does happen. I had to withdraw all of my money within my trading account, simply because I was oversizing and I was on a downward spiral. So if I did not, I would have likely blown up my account for the second time. So I recognized it and I simply took all the money out. But here in a couple of weeks, I will be trading again soon, so we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully everything goes well. But this recap is just going to go over what I call the iron triangle of trading, okay? And once more, a disclaimer, I am not a guru. I'm not, all this which you're about to hear is for educational purposes only. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. And once more, I'm not consistent. So if you're looking for someone that is consistently profitable in this market, I'm not, I'm still trying to become a consistent profitable trader. That is the whole mission of this channel. It is to catalog my trading journey en route of becoming a consistent profitable trader, and currently I'm 22 years of age. In a nutshell, I started trading when I started learning trading whenever I was 18 years of age. I placed my first trade whenever I was about 20 and blew up my first account. And again, I just told you about my second account, but they always say third time's a charm, right? But once more, all these videos which you are about to, everything on my channel, it's not, I'm not a professional. If you're looking for a professional, I highly encourage you to look elsewhere. I'm just a 22-year-old kid who's obsessed with this game. And again, I like sharing most importantly, I like sharing my failures along the way, because I want you to learn from my mistakes, so hopefully you don't have to go through them. But understand that failure, you have to embrace it, embrace failure, learn from it. Don't be ashamed of the times you are in a drawdown, I know it can be tough, as I'll go over later on, but you'll be fine. Keep going forward, all right? But again, as I mentioned before, this whole video lesson is going to be called the iron triangle of trading. And once more, all this is for educational purposes only. So this is not I didn't come up with this, okay? I got this from a book. I highly encourage you to read books about trading. But again, you can read all the books in the world, but it all comes down to experience. So I'm not saying not to read books. It's always good to learn from other people and podcasts and all that, but understand that most of your trading knowledge will come from experience itself, within being in front of the screens, and most importantly tracking your trades. But the iron triangle came from the book by Alexander Elder, The New Trading for a Living. And forgive me if you do hear a dog in the background. I can't really control that. It's not my dog. Hopefully it doesn't sound bad. Hopefully it doesn't, but forgive me. But the iron triangle is from Alexander Elder's book, How to Day Trade for a Living. And I live by this. This is Trading 101 in a nutshell. I'm going to go over each one as precisely as I can. But again, the longer these are, the less people that will watch it. I get it. I understand it. I'm no one yet. And most importantly, this business, we're judged based off our track record, okay? How much money we have extracted from this business. I understand that. And most importantly, you can find all my trades via Profitly. Just look up Curiosity Trader and you'll see my P&L chart here. As you can see, I have not traded in quite a while. My last trade was, well, this is inaccurate. I'm not going to lie to you, but I have not uploaded my recent trades yet. Oopsies, don't want to do that. But my last, I'll just show you quick. I don't want to get off topic. I want to go back to this in a minute. But my last trade, and this is what I mean. I was on a downward spiral, and I'll go over this maybe at the end of this video. But I mainly want to focus on the iron triangle of trading. But I have not traded in a nutshell. I can tell you since this was really a scratch trade. I don't listen to that one. The last time I traded was roughly September 15th. So 1, 2, 3, 5 months it's been. And it's been really hard, seeing other people out there trade out there and not being able to really participate in the business. But that doesn't mean I'm showing up every day learning and, tracking the markets, seeing patterns and studying. I still show up. I'm just not really playing the game. And pretty soon that'll change. I'll come back to this, okay? To playing the game, and we'll see what happens. But as I was saying, we're judged based off our track record, okay? And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I've mastered the business. I have not. As I just showed you my P&L. Everything you see here, okay? I did not come up with. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I wrote this. No, all these are from books. I just simply wrote them down to help me memorize them. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I wrote all this. No, this shouldn't be your first time seeing this if you like reading books about day trading. But again, if you don't really know what the iron triangle is, look it up online, or I highly encourage you to read the book by Alexander Elder, How to Day Trade for a Living. It's one of the key ones, all right? But once more, I'm going to go over all these in a nutshell. But before I do, I want to just summarize why many, in my opinion, okay, why trading? Why do everyone wants to become a trader? Everyone wants to become a trader, and there's really always the common theme is only 90% plus fail. 90% of traders fail, and I like to argue it's probably more than that. It's probably 95% fail. We can even argue 99% fail. Because it's really easy to make money in this business. Anyone can make money out of spare luck, but what really separates those who excel in this business is really having an edge. Having number one, anyone can be a trader, but can you become a consistent trader, profitable trader? And whenever we're in a hot market like we were in 2019 and 2021. It looks trading should be effortless. Everyone making money back in the day whenever the coronavirus sector was running. But now the market's conditions are kind of slowing up. That doesn't mean there's money to be made. There's always money to be made out there. Again, the market's always open. It's like a business. There's always money to be made. But whenever the market slows down, you'll find out who really is meant for this game. Because again, as much money as you make, it's really easy to give it all back if you lack risk management, and that's why you have to develop a trading system and sound psychology, it's really all three go in. It's the iron triangle of trading, all right? But this business, and to me, it's like a video game, and what's the premise of every video game? You have to have long-term survival, and this game really is rigged against you. I trade really momentum stocks, because again, I trade with a small account. Again, what works for me may not work for you. Don't follow the leader mentality. But you don't really have to have. There's really no barrier to entry in this business. All you need is a couple $1,000 and internet connection and go online, open up a trading account, and call yourself a trader. It's that easy. You don't need no professional degree. You don't need no certificate. You don't need none of that. And you wonder why many fail. And again, I'm not trying to scare you away. I'm just expressing the I guess I call it the dangers of trading, how it's so attractive to many, trading, make it seem easy, but it's really not. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do, okay? But I just want to point that out there, because I know there's many new traders that go online, Twitter and all that, and one thing I always tell myself, it is to limit yourself on social media, Social media is there to be used, don't let it use you, let it put your voice out, teach people stuff, but be on it every day scrolling through nonsense. Remember, time is an asset. Your time is very valuable, so don't waste your time on social media. And but back to trading. So the iron triangle. Okay, what do I mean by this? Now, of course, you may look at this, you may be saying, what the hell is he talking about? You may be saying it's full of bullshit. Whatever you want. Again, if you don't like this, leave. I just simply do these because, number one, I like talking about this because it helps me memorize it. And quite frankly, it's a Saturday night and I got nothing to do, so why not do this? So the iron triangle, we'll start with number one, having a trading system. Okay, now what do I mean by a trading system? Once more, well, should I start a trading system? Yeah, trading system really means having one or two patterns that you can repeat over and over again and come out on top. You want to have a positive expectancy within a trading sample size. In the beginning, as a new trader, and again, I'm not saying I'm a master. I consider myself new still. But whenever you start trading with real money, and again, quick note, I don't really recommend you paper trading. If you have no really cash, and maybe go do it, but you want to treat paper trading seriously. Don't just trade with, in paper trading, you could treat it like you're trading with real money. But I do highly encourage you in the beginning to trade with real money, whether it be $1,000. I'm not saying to risk $1,000 on every trade. No, your account size is 1,000, but you want to have proper position size in every trade. But in my opinion, trading with real money is a lot. You'll learn more trading with real money, in my opinion. I'm not saying you can't learn in paper trading, but it just changes the psychology of things if you trade with real money. So if you have the money, trade with real money. If you don't, paper trade. Okay, they're both great, but I never started with paper trading. I started with real money because that's just really what I wanted to do, and it worked out for me. I learned a lot. But a trading system, really, in a nutshell, it takes time to learn. You have to develop a clear, definable edge in what you love to do. And in order to do that as a trader, in the beginning, you really don't know what you love to do. I understand that you're just beginning, which is why risk management comes hand in hand. Because in the beginning, many traders, they just want to make money right away. They see everyone on Twitter, on StockTwits posting their big P&L, and they want to be just like them, and I was never like that, I always told myself the number one goal as a trader, I told myself this, no matter what happens, just survive, and as a trader, as you just starting out, your goal in the beginning is not to make the most bank. No, it's not that. It's to make it to the next day. Long-term survival is key. And in order to find your trading system, number one, you have to survive. Okay? I don't care how much money you start out with. It doesn't matter. You have to survive. At least, I say give it 6 months. At least 6 months, and you'll find what works for you and what doesn't. And you do that by tracking your trades. Oops, what did I do? You do that by tracking your trades. And as I was showing you back to this, whenever I first started trading back in 2020, this downward spiral right here, I was for 6 months losing money. But understand, I was only down $1,000. This max drawdown was roughly 1,500, roughly. And I kept my losses small. That is your goal in the beginning. Because in the beginning, you don't know what works for you. Maybe you do. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying in the beginning you're gonna lose money right away. I know traders out there who make money right away. Congrats to you. But it's not. Sometimes in the beginning, you're gonna have to lose to learn what works best for you. Some traders are out there get it right away. Congrats to you. But if you are losing money right now and you're just starting out, don't worry. Everyone goes through it, but you have to survive. You have to survive. You have to minimize those losses in the beginning. And in the beginning of your trading career, keep those losses small. And as you see here, my losses were quite small. Now, of course, you will have some outliers that get out of hand, but most importantly, I kept most of them in check. And as you notice, this nice revamp right here, That's really whenever I found what worked best for me. And the only way I found worked best for me was by tracking your trades. And you can track your trades anyway, be a trader view or a Excel or a spreadsheet or a simple pen and paper. But I highly encourage you to track your trades. I highly encourage you because again, success leaves clues. Okay, success will leave clues, and most importantly, you want to focus on your losers. Focus on your losers. I'm not saying to neglect your winners. No, learn from them as well. But many traders out there, they sweep their losses under the rug, and those losses will teach you a lot about yourself. And those 6 months when I was on a drawdown right here, I didn't get really. I wasn't disappointed. I was not at all, because I know. Of course, I didn't know, but I was just focusing on trading. I was focusing on my process. Then upon reviewing my trades, I simply realized that I was doing too much. I was trying too many setups, trying to short, trying to go long. First off, I don't recommend shorting if you have a small account. That's just my opinion. And again, a small account, whenever I say small account, I mean less than probably $10,000, you know. Of course, everyone's goal is to get over PDT. That is my goal. But hold up. Keep your losses small. Yes. Again, forgive me if you hear a dog. I'm not sure why he's barking. I don't know. But keep your losses small, and I highly encourage you a trading system you will find. Now, again, I may not be going over what is a trading system. You may be wondering what is mine. Again, what works for me may not work for you. You know, I have a few setups I love. You know, one of them is like the multi-day breakout on listed stocks. A good example in this market is Cavill, which has been an absolute gift. Recently, Cavill's a nice one. SBEV is really a textbook one to a T. You have this nice breakout here, nice ramp up, and it's still continuing. You know, if I would have traded this, I would have never held the entire way. I probably would have sold too soon. That's one as well. And over-the-counter stock on OTC has been running quite well. One of them, as you see here, is UCPA. This is a nice first screen day over-the-counter stock with news. Again, you play by the odds. I mean, the odds say those have a nice gap up. Again, you have to find what works best for you. I know traders who only short. I know traders who only go long. You know, I know who do both. And to find what you're best at, you have to, again, I'm going to keep saying it over and over again, you have to survive. Because many come into this game, they think it's going to be easy. They want the money right away. And sometimes the money doesn't come right away. Sometimes the money comes in year 1 or year 2. I hope it comes sooner. I hope it does. I pray it comes sooner. I hope we become profitable sooner than I am. You know, I've been doing this since 2019. You know, it's 2022 now. I'm still here. I'm not over PDT, but it's fine. You know, I'm fine. I'm still here. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm trying to help you in some way. Okay, and I lost all my money because I did not survive. You know, you wanna think of this game just like poker. You know, just like going into a casino. Whenever you play poker, whenever you lose all your chips, go home. You have no chips. The casino doesn't want you there. You know, you're done. So leave. You know, just like in trading. Your money is valuable. Whenever you lose all your money, you're done. You cannot participate in the game. Okay? As long as you're in the game, you have a shot of success. So in the beginning, survive, trading system, and risk management are very important. And I'm kind of going over both here. Okay? Risk management is, I'll talk about it in a minute. But as you see, most of this stuff is very repetitive, and it's meant to be repetitive. It's not rocket science. It's rinse and repeat day after day, and you'll see the result over a couple of years. Okay, but trading system in a nutshell: track your trades, trade small in the beginning, and you'll find what works best for you. I guarantee it. Okay, I'm not saying it's 100% certainty, but I say it's a 90. I'll say 99. How about that? A 99% chance you will find what works best for you in, I say, maybe 6 months or maybe less than a year. If you just trade smart, you know, trade smart. I'm not saying to trade everything. No, in the beginning you may have to. In the first month or 2 or 3 of trading, you may have to experiment on what works best for you. That is what I did. I tried dip buying. I learned that I suck at dip buying. I cannot dip buy worthless. I'm learning. I always want to expand my horizon. As a trader, you always want to learn. You always want to have curiosity. Pun, curiosity trader. You always want to have an open mindset to learn new setups, okay? But you really want to have one or two in your arsenal where you are going to come out on top more often than not, and where you can bet most of your money on more often than not and come out a net winner. And those trades are going to be the bulk of your trading portfolio. And that is that. And risk management, I'll go over it real quickly, but it is very pivotal in my opinion. Again, survival. Many of us come into this business thinking it's going to be easy. It's not. It's far from reality. And most of us, even you, okay, you should go into every trade knowing where you are going to get out. The number one rule in trading, as my guru Timothy Sykes says, is cut losses quickly. I live by that, and understand that you're going to lose in this business. Losing is inevitable. Okay, you're not gonna have. You may see it on Twitter. 30. You may see people on Twitter posting 30 green days in a row. Yeah, that's good for them, but that's not you. Focus on you. And most importantly, most people on Twitter are full of shit. Most of them are not transparent. Most of them are liars. So again, don't go on social media during trading hours. Although I do only, I have what's it called? It's a TweetDeck. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I only follow people on stock for stock alerts, like credible resources. Okay, but risk management is very important. Whenever you go into a trade, you want to know three things really. You want to know your entry point. You want to know your price target. And you want to know your exit point. The most important one is the exit. That whenever I go into a trade, I don't think how much money I'm going to make. No. Of course, I have an idea, because that idea, I think of how much I'm going to lose. I go into a trade thinking worst case scenario. How much is the potential drawdown in comparison to what the upside potential is? You want to have a greater risk reward towards the upside, and vice versa if you're shorting. You want to have greater vice versa for shorting. But I don't short much. Again, that's not my edge. Maybe it's your edge. Maybe that fits your personality. And when that, going back to what I just said, personality. Okay. Out of all the Chat with Traders, I love watching Chat with Traders podcasts. Every trader I've listened to on that podcast, and I've listened to all of them. I lied. Not all of them. I say a great majority of them. I say maybe 75% of them. Understand, every trader out there has a unique personality. Everyone has a unique way of trading. And that's what makes this business beautiful. You don't have to master everything. There are thousands of ways to make money in the market. There is. You just have to find one or two. And that goes back to your trading system. You have to find a couple that works for you and do it over and over and over again. Now, of course, the market cycles are different. Of course, the market will change and edge will go away over time. And again, that's normal. You have to be able to adapt. Great traders are able to adapt in times where it is necessary, But to get to that point, you must survive. And to survive, you have to have proper risk management, So within every trade, you have to, whenever the trade goes against you, cut your loss. It's that simple. Holding and hoping is not a strategy. And number one, you don't want to add to a loser. Adding to a loser is the worst case you can do. Okay, I've done it before, and I can tell you firsthand witness from experience, it doesn't work out. You may have one that comes back, you tell yourself, it worked out great. But all that does is create bad habits. You don't want to add to a loser. And that's the worst thing, in my opinion, that can happen is that's how you create bad habits. You do something wrong and it works out well in your favor, and you think in the long run, if I do this again, it's going to work out well. But the law of averages will catch up to you, and it's not going to end well for you. Okay, so never add to a loser. And it's, again, I don't understand this. I never really understood why anyone would add to a loser, because again, the market's a constant motion. It's not going to go anywhere. As long as there's buyers and sellers and volume, and you can always get back in. I never understood why people and traders are afraid. It's the ego, it's ego thing, and you want to leave your ego at home. But For me, whenever I'm wrong, I cut it. I cut it wherever. Of course, there's going to be slippage. Okay, there's always a slippage in the markets. Um, but it's a common saying here. It's okay to stay wrong. It's not okay to be wrong. Wait, did I say it? No, I said it backwards. It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. There's always going to be another possibility, always another trade upon the horizon. I mean, a good example of this is Cabo. That's a good stock I'm talking about right now. This is simply a nice short trap. That's what this is. And you have a lot of shorts who are just shorting this, thinking it's up way too high from $1 to $3. And for shorting, I mean, that's a whole different topic. But I don't short no more because of the dangers like this. I mean, with a small account, once with a small account for shorting, you can do it. I mean, if you have edge, like shorting an overextended gap down pattern, or shorting a first red day, or I guess that's kind of both, or shorting bounces, or shorting pump and dumps. But again, in my opinion, I would stay away from it, because more often than not, you have these moves, and that, I mean, all you really need is that one move to wipe your small account out. So I don't short anymore. I go long. It's less stressful, in my opinion. I mean, I can sleep well at night. I'd much rather be long a stock overnight than short a stock overnight and sleep well. Because whenever I shorted the stock overnight, I'm gonna get off topic here for a moment. But this is the first time I blew up my account. I was short this wonderful stock, GNUS, overnight, and thinking it wasn't gonna break this high day. I was short this day right here, risking the resistance. And I told myself, and there's no way this can gap up. There's no way. And what did it do? It gap up. Luckily, I did take a loss. I cut my loss. I think it was around $4. It was under $4, but it still wiped my account completely. It wasn't negative by any means. I didn't owe money and nothing like that, but I simply lost quite a bit. And luckily, I cut my loss, because if I would have said, fuck it, I'm going to hold this, excuse my language, this would have blown up. I would have, it would have, not been good. But that's just one example for why shorting is very dangerous. Again, I don't understand. Just wait for the backside. Wait for the backside. There's always moves, and I'm getting off topic here again. It's just, I can't understand why people want to short these stocks. Well, I understand why, because again, they're complete shit. But in the beginning, never say a stock cannot go higher. Never say that. Never say that. And that's the worst thing you can say as traders. Never say a stock cannot go higher, because it always can. Okay? And again, shorting wise, for a beginner, just stay away from it, in my opinion. It's less stressful. You'll save yourself some less headaches, and you'll be able to sleep better at night. But I got off topic. I was doing so well. I forgot what I was saying. This tends to happen a lot. I get off topic. Forgive me. But I guess I'll start by saying, what was I guess I was talking about risk management. Okay, number one, as I went over, entry point, target price, and stop. Adding to losers. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, never add to losers. Never. Again, just get out. There's always going to be another trade. Now, I understand, whenever you have a small account, a reason why you may not want to get out is because I'll take a day trade. I understand that. I experienced that. Sometimes I held and hoped, and because I didn't want to waste a day trade. I get it. But understand, one trade will not determine the outcome. Okay, your goal in the beginning is what? Survival. That is it. And one more thing. The trades you make in the beginning don't mean nothing in the long run. I mean, the trades you make now as a trader in the beginning, it's all market tuition. That's all it is. That's all you need to learn is that, I mean, the trades you make now in the beginning, use it as market tuition. So whether you lose, whether you win, congrats, but teach it. Every trade should be a learning lesson forward. Think of it that way. And that's what I learned going forward. I never once, when I was on that drawdown, thought of myself giving up. No, I told myself, this is the cost of doing business. That's what I told myself. It's market tuition. So learn from it, and that I did. But one more thing about risk management, no one really ever talks about proper position sizement in a trade. You know, whenever you go into a trade, I see many traders just take random trades and take random size in the given trade. And for me, I do things differently. I like to have, number one, in every trade, and this variable is going to be different for everyone, you want to have a max dollar loss. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, like, for instance, let's say I'm going to prepare to buy a stock around $1, you know, and I'm risking, well, I'll just give you an example. Again, I'm not doing a hindsight here. Hindsight always makes trading look easy. I don't want to make it seem like it is. It's not. Trading's very difficult, okay? But let's say, let's give you an example here. Let's say I'm going to buy, I don't know. Let's go over here. It's pretty simple. Well, I'm not even gonna do this. I mean, I could do this, but basically, what I mean by a dollar size is, I'm trying to get a good chart where I could show you. I guess we'll do this one here. Okay, let's say within a given trade, I'm willing to lose $30. And whenever I was first starting out, again, with a small account. Again, most of you out there have a small account. Don't be ashamed of it. Be grateful, you know. I was willing to lose $30. And whenever you saw this drawdown, which I showed you right over here, this drawdown right here in this range, I was only risking $30 per trade. That is it, okay? And whatever stock I was trading, that $30 will determine the size of the trade, you know. I didn't really... Every size was different, you know, depending on whether it was over-the-counter stock, listed stock, and sometimes it may be really difficult to take small size in the beginning. I understand that. As I mentioned, you want to make the money right away, but sometimes you have to come to realize that great things take time. You know, you want the money now. I get it, but just survive, you know. That was my goal in the beginning, and that was my goal in this range, was to survive, and that's what happened. But I was risking $30 on that drawdown here. But let's say I was going to buy this stock, okay, nice Friday runner. Let's say I was going to buy the high day break. The high was what? Again, past hindsight's 2020. I'm not going to make trading seem easy. I mean, it's not in real time. It's not. Let's say I'm going to buy the high day break right here at when it breaks the high day, and I'm going to risk. Let's say I'm risking the low day right here, or I guess again, as a trader, I always advise you to use the wider stop. I mean, the wider stop will give you less shares, but again, that will give you more wiggle room. And in the beginning, that was one of my really difficulties as a trader, because as a trader, I wanted the most size, you know. But I whenever I was tracking my trades, I recognized that I was getting shaken out of trades too often, and a way to fix that is to widen your stop. And again, I know it's hard because you want to make the money quick, but just widen. If you find yourself, again, if this doesn't apply to everyone, but if you find yourself getting shaken out on trades, widen your stop, okay, and you'll see the results. But let's say you're gonna risk this low a day right here. So you're buying the high day break. You're risking the low right here, okay? So you have your entry point, you have your risk point. And again, you always want to have a profit target. Now, you really never know how high this is going to go. I mean, I couldn't sit here and tell you. No one really expected this to go to 295. But of course, look left to see the right. You know, if you look at the long-term chart, which I always encourage you to do, look left to see the right. You know, the long-term chart has overhead resistance, and it's not ironic. The high day is 296. The high day right here is 275. So, I mean, look left to see the right is one of the common sayings Nate does a lot. But yeah, back to what I was saying. You buy the high day here, risking this area, and it's simple. Let's say you're willing to lose, again, I'm going to give this an example. You're willing to lose $30 on this trade. Okay? You're willing to lose $30. Now again, everyone's going to be different. If you're willing to lose $100 on a trade, you put it this way, you want to lose whatever's comfortable to you. Okay, because again, as I mentioned before, you always want to think worst case scenario, because every trade is going, it's this game's all about odds. That's all it is. It's all about playing the odds and probabilities, and living with the result. Okay, and with the trading system, you can have great edge and a positive expectancy, but even still, then the market, you can have a perfect scenario play out well when you still come out a net loser. That's just the way the market works, And that's why I highly encourage you within every trade, know your max dollar loss, okay? Now, of course, this will vary if you're scaling in and out. I don't really scale in and out yet, and I assume for you as those with under PDT, it's really hard to scale in and out because that will count as day trades. So, I don't really recommend it. I'm not saying you can't. I know there's ways of doing it. With a small account, I never done that. I go in and then I'm out like a sniper, But again, back to what I was talking about. This trade, we're willing to lose $30, okay? And I buy the high day break, which is at 222, risking the low, risking the low of 212. Is that what it is? We'll call it 210. Well, it's 212. So I buy the high day break at 222. Okay, 222. I buy the high day break, and you want to subtract you want to subtract your entry point from your risk point. That's really what you want to do, and that will determine the size of your trade. Now you're willing to lose the low day here, which is 212. So you're willing to lose. You're risking 10 cents a share. Now again, that's kind of, in my opinion, that's kind of tight here. But given this nice Friday morning spike here, you want to have, again, Fridays are a very special day in the markets, okay? So you want to have this is a nice dip and rip ideal setup here. So you're willing to lose 10 cents a share. And again, $30 you're willing to lose divided by the 10 cents slippage. And that will give you a size of 300 shares. 300 shares at a price of 222. That is a total position value of, that's a weird number, 666. That is the total position value of that trade. Now again, as I mentioned before, what is your profit target? And as a trader, you always want to have a 3-to-1 ratio. Again, you really never know how high this can go, so I always highly encourage you to lock profits in right away. But like I mentioned, no one really I didn't know this was going to go to 295. No one really does. And if I would have bought this, I guarantee you I probably would have been out in this spike right here. But I do have this spreadsheet here to really help you. If you ever do watch this, let me know. I have the spreadsheet here. Well, I have many spreadsheets, but this really does it in a nutshell. It does it really fast. Like, if you want, you can do it in your head if you're good at math, but I suck at math. You don't need a spreadsheet. You can do a calculator. But I found this. I didn't make this, by the way. I found this I think on YouTube. But with that scenario, which I just showed you, you buy 221, you're risking 212, right? That's what it was. Max dollar loss 30. And was that right, Victor? No, that wasn't right? Let me see. High day break 222, lows 212. 300. There we go. So this is pretty much it right here. I just showed you how to do it. I did it on a calculator. This is a spreadsheet that is automatically entry point, risk level, and your price target for a 3-to-1 ratio is 252. So that would be right in this spike. That would have been a nice $90 gain in what? How many minutes? 2 minutes out of the market open. That's great for a small account. You're making roughly 13% on your money. Now, of course, if you want to go 4-to-1, that's 262, but I highly encourage you to lock your profits in. Now, again, you never really know how high this can go. Let's say you held it to 295, which again, hindsight's 2020. That would have been roughly what? Let's say that's 6-to-1 ratio. Yeah, I'd say 7-to-1 ratio. You would have made roughly $210. That's great on a roughly a $700 position. That is outstanding. Okay, but that's really what I mean by whenever you go into every trade, know those three variables. If you don't know, the most important one is your exit point. I mean, you should know that, right? You should know that before you get in and right when you get in. That's it. Okay, I highly encourage you, please. I mean it with all my heart. Don't just buy and hope it goes up. Don't do that, because you're just trading randomly, and you're bound to get random results. Okay, so if there's one thing you take away from this, it's just know your exit points. Please, just know where you are going to get out whenever you enter a stock, and abide by that. Know how much dollar value you're willing to lose, and don't add to a losing position. Please, I highly encourage you, do not add to a losing position, because it's just a downward spiral from there. And that is really that one on risk management. So in a nutshell, know those 3 points: entry point, exit point, and a profit target. And most importantly, know your dollar value potential loss, and that will determine your size on the given trade. Okay, and again, drawdowns are a part of the business, but don't let them define you. Learn from them. All right, learn from those drawdowns and come back better than ever. And the last one, most importantly, is sound psychology. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But I guess, this game, the stock market, it's a business which many come into, as I mentioned earlier. They think this is going to be easy, but the greatest enemy is you. You are your greatest enemy. Now, again, I'm probably butcher this last segment of sound psychology, because it's really hard to talk about, because everyone has their own different mindset. But I'll try my best. Okay. First off, every day, I think the most successful traders in the world, in my opinion, have one thing in common. That's having discipline. Not only in life, but not only in trading, but in life. They have solid discipline. They do stuff on our habits define us. That is what it is. Now, I may get off topic here, and I may just talk about, I think whatever goes on in our daily life affects us in trading. If you're having a bad day, that will affect us in trading. And whenever I first started out trading, there were days whenever I wasn't feeling well. I had a headache or stuff. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes life gets in the way, and that's a part of life. And those days, I didn't come to the market. And I noticed whenever I was upset, sometimes I would trade upset, and those were sometimes those outlier trades where they got out of my risk threshold. And if it's really hard to talk about sound cycle. It's just really hard, because I don't really know what to talk about it, honestly. Because it's all about experiencing for yourself, and I can talk about the losses, I suppose. How do you deal with losing? I think you're going to lose, as I mentioned before, but I guess sometimes it can affect us differently. I understand that, but losing is essential. Failure is essential in this business. It's a part of life. It's a part of learning. You have to be able to fail to learn. And most importantly, I don't think, in my opinion, a loss is never a loss unless you learn something from it. I always have that saying: a loss is never a loss unless you learn something from it. And if you could take away something from it, then it's not a loss. It's just, call it a draw. That's what I would call it. But there are going to be days whenever you don't want to show up into this business, and that's fine. That's what makes, I guess, one of the lure, the dangers of this is freedom. Everyone wants to have. That's why everyone comes to this business. They think of the freedom. They could be their own boss. But then again, it's kind of a gift and a curse. The gift is, for once in your life, you're in complete control of your life. You can show up when you want. You can do whatever you want to do. But a curse is you have to take responsibility of whatever happens. And whenever you lose, don't blame the market. Don't blame you're trading. You don't blame no one but yourself, and that comes only not only in trading but in life. Take full responsibility of your actions. And I know I'm kind of going over a lot with sound psychology. As I mentioned before, it's kind of hard to talk about. There are books out there. I highly encourage you to read really anything with Mark Douglas in it. He is really, in my opinion, the also Brett Steenbarger. He has great content as well. But those two, Mark Douglas and Brett Steenbarger, have great content over sound psychology. But I guess, I could talk about losing forever, because I think no one really. I'm gonna get off topic here again. I dropped out of college. Why? Because it wasn't within my why. Now, in my opinion, nothing really teaches us how to lose, and I don't think college does. School for sure doesn't. I think the only thing does is organized sport. Organized sport like football and all that, etc. You have to learn how to lose, because no one's gonna be perfect. But in society, they judge us for our failures. That's why I dropped out of college. It wasn't within my vision. And again, I'm not saying college is for. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's worthless. No. Okay. I'm just saying it's not for me. But I don't understand why in school, whenever we get a failing grade, they criticize us. We're not the smartest. No. Everyone learns at different paces. And it's hard to talk about sound psychology, because many individuals, I know some people out there think this is a complete myth, psychology. They think it has nothing to do with trading, but I disagree. Because I know there are algorithms out there that trade nowadays, but again, I don't think no one ever will replace humans as trading, because the patterns we trade, it's based off human nature. The patterns we trade in the market is the same patterns over and over again. It's all because of human emotion. It's us as traders. We create these moves. The only way to buy a stock is if someone sells us the stock. And doing that over and over again creates a pattern within the market that is repeatable over and over again. But sound psychology, you really have to focus on yourself and every day show up and discipline. Work out daily, drink plenty of water, and all this will tie into trading. All of this will. I know I'm going over a lot here, but success leaves clues. Create daily habits that are really going to define you over the years. And again, it's a Saturday night here. I'm 22. Most kids my age are out there partying and drinking. I don't care. I'm here doing this, talking to a freaking screen that probably no one will ever watch in the future. I hope they do. Hope they learn from this. But you know what I mean? I have tons of charts that I love to track, and it's all about beating on your craft, It's all about beating on your craft and showing up every day and doing what you love. And psychology, it's really hard to talk about. I know I'm going a long way here, but I really don't know what to say. Honestly, I don't. Trading systems, risk management, I can talk about all day. But sound psychology, it's really about it within yourself. You have to experience it yourself. Whenever you lose, no big deal. Just get back up, lick your wounds, and understand it's market tuition. It's really all I can tell you. But that's the iron triangle of trading in a nutshell. Again, I know it's not perfect. If you have any questions, leave them below. Okay, again, I'm not a master of the markets. I'm just obsessed with this shit. But other than that, that's really all I wanted to talk about. But as I mentioned, all right, I will be trading here shortly. I'm not sure what's going to happen. This is what I wanted to show you. This is why I do what I do. Okay? This is why I do what I do. One day, your story will become someone else's survival guide. Don't give up, okay? And I'm going to get off topic for the last 10 minutes here. But again, one more time. If you have any questions about this, read the book by Alexander Elder, How to Trade for a Living, or leave a comment below. I always respond. But once more, take it as you will. I'm not a professional. All this is for educational purposes only. All right. But back to this. The reason why I do these videos is simply this right here. I'm never gonna give up. Okay, I know that for a fact. I don't care how long it takes. I believe me. By now, I thought I'll be trading full time. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought by now I'll be trading full time. No, I still work at a job that I don't like, quite frankly. But it's there for. Everything's temporary in life, okay? Understand that, guys and gals. Whatever you're going through, it's not lasting. Pain is temporary, okay? I want that to get through your mind. But the point of these is just sharing my journey along the way. And I know there's many out there that do it, but they're just afraid to share their journey. I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm not afraid to share my journey. I'm not afraid to be judged. Because quite frankly, I don't care. You know, I don't care who you are. I mean, I say that lovingly, of course. I do care. But in a sense, I mean, I do these for me. You know, whenever I talk about these out loud, I get to memorize it twice. And I hope these really inspire you. And again, I hope you can learn something from these as well. You know, I'm not consistent yet, but I hope one day, whenever I am, I can look back on this video and be grateful that I kept going forward. Because again, giving up is easy, guys and gals. Whatever you want to do in life, you could easily give up. Everyone gives up at whatever they do. But again, I promise you, if you are consistent and if you are patient, it will happen. Whatever you are trying to become, if you're consistent and patient, it will happen. I strongly believe that. And I'm only 22 years of age. I am only 22 years of age. And here is another quick tip. The market's always going to be there, you know, and 10 years, 20 years, whatever. But the question is, are you going to be there? You know, the market's not going to go anywhere. The market's not going to have legs and run away. It's not going to. The question is whether or not you are going to be there to participate in the market. That's all that matters, you know. And I'm not sure where I'll be 5 or 10 years from now, but I know I'll still be doing this, you know, because I never got into this for the monetary value. I never did. I was simply obsessed. And I know 5 years from now, I still will be obsessed, you know. But I hope one day, whenever you watch this, if you ever do, if you ever make it this far, I love you. And I hope you learned something from this video lesson. If not, I'm sorry for wasting your time. But again, Curiosity Trader here. The date is February 12th, 2022. Total profit here is $2,000. Okay, whenever you watch this in the future, I'm not sure how old you'll be, Victor. I'm not sure where you'll be. Okay, the money is a byproduct of your craft. Understand this. I'm gonna make this one last point here. The money will always be a byproduct of your craft. Okay, it always will be. And again, it's easy to make money, but it's twice as hard to keep it. And what separates those who make it in this game is really discipline. That's all. But February 12th, 2022, 22 years of age. Here's my portfolio on Profitly. And I'm not sure when I'll publish this. Probably, who knows, a year, 5 years from now. But whenever I watch this and look back, I'm going to be grateful that I kept going forward. And it's going to be great to see, alright? But other than that, leave a comment below if you like this. Subscribe, you know, share our trading ideas. But other than that, have a great night, and I love you all, and I thank you for watching.